Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fireside, where we have got the RGL Season 16 Advanced Lower Bracket Finals. It's going to be MGCS versus Ninjago's Masters of Spinjitzu. My name's Tcmano. I am joined by the amazing Grape Juice. We have got Dr. Underscore on production for what will hopefully be an amazing best of three. Grape Juice, how are you doing tonight?
I am wonderful because it's advanced playoffs, and I love advanced playoffs with all of my heart. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna watch some good TF2 that's starting half an hour late, because what else? What other time frame is the match gonna start at other than half an hour late? And yeah, it's time.
Listen, it wouldn't be TF2 if there weren't some type of delays, but fortunately, we should be getting going pretty soon, and it should be a very exciting best of three because these teams, as we were talking a little bit earlier before we went live, have got a little bit of history in this season. They've played together. This is going to be their fourth matchup in the season. They had two in the regular season, and they played once before in the playoffs already. And all three times resulted in MGCS walking away the victors very narrowly. However, I don't think they had a win that was more than 2 rounds. Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu, not too far behind every time they've played together, but consistently MGCS have had the upper hand now in the lower bracket finals. Both these teams want to try and win. This is their last chance at getting into grand finals, trying to take that first place away from Mar-a-Lago Files. So they're both going to be trying to desperately win, get that opportunity to go into grand finals, and also definitively prove that they are the better of the two teams playing here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, every single match was either lost by 1 or 2 rounds. Every single map between these two teams, and if you're Ninjago, sorry, you're really. One of their picks for this match was Metalworks, a map that they've lost by 1 round. And so that pick for Ninjago is a real, like, oh man, we lost that just by an inch. Just by an inch we lost that. We can get them next time, and that's a pretty ballsy pick. And we're going to have to see if it pays off for them here.
I definitely agree. Hopefully, we'll definitely get there because Metalworks is the second map, but the first one is Koth Products, starting it off with some King of the Hill. And, it can be a little bit hit or miss whether you get any King of the Hill in the playoffs, but it is going to be MGCS's pick. And as we were, again, talking about before we went live, you were telling me, Grape Juice, that this is a little bit of a Highlander team. And when you think about it, Product, definitely a map played often in Highlander, and they might be able to use some of that expertise, some of that knowledge, and bring it with them against Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu. And I guess just walk us through this MGCS team, who are kind of the standout players, the Highlander experienced players. And if there is someone to off-class and maybe go that full-time sniper that we can see on Product, who do you think it's going to be?
I think their standout players are going to be JJ Dewitt and Michael. I think the two of them have proven themselves to be like mechanical powerhouses with comparison to the rest of the division. But Crazy on Soul Ringing in place of Moist DM. Crazy is really good at sniper, and if there's any player who could whip out that full-time sniper, it'd be get that soldier onto sniper, get Crazy on sniper, and let her work some magic, I think.
Well, we'll have to see if Crazy goes crazy. Had to do that one early, sorry.
Okay, just a real low ball.
It is a real low ball, but, got to knock it out of the park like Freddie Freeman regardless. On Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, it's going to be Hami and Mob as your 2 scouts, Rave AC, Mr. Kausa as the soldiers, Alex, aka Mom I Threw Up, on demo, and then Finman on medic. And I've spent a lot of time with Mob and Hami. Got to shout them out as definitely some standout players. Alex as well, I think, is a really good demo, and is going to have an opportunity to do a lot of damage. Also, shout outs to Mob, my favorite medic main, coming in playing scout. So props to him from stepping outside of his comfort zone. But I think Mob definitely might be the person on the side of Ninjago to go sniper. I don't know if they're going to do it initially. I don't know if there's that type of team to immediately go for the off-class strategy, but if their backs are up against the wall just trying to figure out something to do, they might switch up onto it. But before we go live, and we're about to do so, what are your predictions for this map?
4-1 MGCS.
Ooh.
I think they really bring. I think they elevate with Imagine carrying out the flank scout role to Michael's combo scout and Crazy on Roamer to Reverie on Pocket. As this first mid underway, Demoman trading damage. Both teams looking like they're pretty passive here. Just wait for that damage. Mr. Kausa gets pretty low. Sunny eats some damage. Both teams fighting for this connector side. Sunny, ooh, really weak. Oh. JJ do it really weak next to the dog bread. Red team, Mr. Kausa looking eyeing up that connector, bombing across, both soldiers in for the red team.
Oh, and that's going to be a huge nuke from Alex, just hitting so much damage all at once. An amazing pipe is going to take down 3 on MGCS. They're going to have to back up. That was looking really scary, however, for Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu, because Finman went down very, very low there in the beginning stages of that fight. Had to back all the way up the cliff to try and get that health pack in and get back up to a nice and safe number. Now, it is going to be 100% for Ninjago, so they can use Uber as soon as there's any threat to the point, but for MGCS, they might just try and take this as an opportunity to go for a 4-man onto Finman.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of cap time right now, really forcing Ninjago to try and play the point here. They could just get this point for free with all this good pressure. As I was saying beforehand, I think MGCS, their real big strength is just their pressure as a team, and they are just getting a lot of cap time here. They're not forcing themselves to go for a bad 4-man here. They're just trying to get the cap time as much as they can. It's Mr. Kausa behind, causing big damage here. They gotta watch out for that. They do pop the Uber, they do clean up Mr. Kausa, and Sunny narrowly escapes into spawn. Hami on the chase gets that kill. Oh my goodness. That was really, really, really risky. Playing out for so long.
Finman.
I missed an air shot.
No, it's just Finman almost died there. That was a huge bomb coming up from Reverie. Barely missed the necessary damage to take down Finman, send him back to the respawn room. So Finman is going to stay alive, meaning it's going to be even Ubers. Sunny dying and respawning the same time that Uber ran out for Finman. So it's going to be even across the board. An opportunity now for Ninjago to try and do the same thing, get aggressive here, try and pressure the point. They don't have to worry about the Uber, which MGCS had to do in return. A lot of pressure over on the flank side by Connector. Going down fairly weak is Sunny. Gonna have to rotate back over to Cliff. Once again, disconnect from the rest of the team, so damage is gonna be a little bit more permanent in the meantime.
Yeah, Sunny really waiting for that pack, and Michael PC1 is also really weak here. Red team successfully bullying MGCS off the point, taking it back. It's going to be about even Ubers here. As soon as Imagine gets across, I would imagine that they would try and take a trade here across the point, picking up what you're throwing down with that craziness over there, but oh, huge rocket from Mild. Oh my goodness, and a huge bump from Crazy to get that force out. Both soldiers behind, causing some chaos for the blue team, as they're going to be looking to collapse on this red team, leaving the concrete, not the concrete, the cliff side. They barely escape with their lives, only losing Mob. And blue team, Crazy dying behind, unable to make anything happen.
Anything to make something happen. That's going to be Mr. Kausa bombing right into Reverie, going to be able to get that opening pick for them. But Demo, very weak as well. JJ, Crazy, all falling here, and it's just going to be the last two remaining. Sunny and Imagine going to have to go back to spawn. Should be able to successfully do so, but that means there's no one to stop them from capturing up the point. Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu, have the lead in terms of time and Uber advantage. They've only got a minute 30 left on the clock.
Yeah, they're trying to break this fork hole with the pyro here. Getting these soldiers out of the way. Soldier in onto that medic. Mild getting behind. Oh, double Finman up. Gets the kill on the medic. Oh my goodness. That's huge. That's absolutely huge, breaking that forward hold. Sunny gonna be able to live with full Uber here. Great job also by the pyro to like not die. Beautiful, beautiful work. Just force them out, get your soldier in, get a soldier behind. Collapse on Finman. Easy med kill, as now they're going to be pushing this point with a big full Uber ad. As soldiers just trying to get some spam. They're really just trying to bully out the red team here. As red team probably... Oh, they just use into Ninjago here. Finman getting weak behind the house. Can they find that medic kill? They do. They're going to look to reset on the point here. Hopefully keep their medic alive. They actually reset on the grass. Forcing the red team to come to them.
Rave AC with some crucial rockets to take down the medic, and now they still got Mob in behind. The thing here, though, is that this is all bleeding time in the favor of Ninjago, because MGCS have not capped, so while they're trying to chase Mob, that gets them closer and closer to overtime. Mob finally is going to go down. But now some of the respawners from Ninjago are going to be up. They can maybe just try and fight a little bit, make sure they get that overtime. They're not going to have it. There's going to be 3 seconds left on the clock for them, but so much time bled in their favor.
Aggressive. Oh, it goes down to the soldier. I don't know what that was. I'm going to be honest. I really don't know what the idea there was, but they do lose their demo. They lose a soldier as Rave... Sorry, Rave. Rave feeds it turbo speed and sort of evens it out. And Mr. Kausa getting behind, getting onto Sunny.
Those are some amazing rockets.
Fight on point here. So disconnected. And red team going to be able to get this point. JJ has to do his best to stop it. Come up for naught. And wow, that was quite the round for Ninjago, honestly. They really did a great job of trying to find the chaos situations, get on that medic.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They did really great stuff of getting onto Sunny, and just that last fight just bled so much time in their favor. Getting Sunny super late into it meant that MGCS couldn't capture up, waiting for their medic to respawn. Now, up on the second mid, that's going to be Sunny. I think immediately taking some bleed damage, is going to have to play so far back. In the meantime, Alex also very weak. It's going to be Mobe, however, getting the first pick. The bomb coming in crazy, trying to go deep, bombing over towards Cliffside. Oh, nice air shot from Rave onto Crazy there. A little fadeaway one as Mr. Kausa is in super duper deep. Is going to get cleaned up, but Sunny weak on the Cliffside. Will they be able to stay alive? No! That's going to be Mobe with a scattergun shot to take them down. Everyone else might be falling on Ninjago, so I don't know how much good the med pick would have done them. They are going to have to give up the point, but at least their medic respawns a bit quicker.
Yeah, they're just trying to make sure they don't deny that spawn as if they go on that point, deny their medic spawn by about like 10 more seconds would have been really disastrous, and the Uber would be much more than 30% here as Michael gets really aggressive on the cliff. Reverie trying to trade out that pick, but gonna end up falling to Mr. Kausa, and now Ninjago has 2 picks to try and refight this point with, as they don't need to really overcommit here. They're just gonna get Mobe to play the point, and JJ trying to slow them down a little bit, but this point will trade hands back into the hands of Ninjago. I really like the word hands, apparently.
Hey, listen, you got 2 of them, so say it twice. As
this is true. This is so true, actually.
As currently, it is still going to be Ninjago. They have control of the point. They do have a very slight Uber advantage as a bomb comes in from Reverie onto Mr. Kausa. Can trade each other over. Eye connector, Imagine, is going to go down. The trade does happen from both soldiers, so still going to be player advantage for Ninjago. MGCS have to play over by Cliffside, a little bit far away, but now they do have Uber, so they can try and go for some type of exchange if they want to. Maybe all eyes on Michael PC1 to try and initiate that for the team. Alex, a little bit weak, is going to have to come, and now the Uber trade does come out. Michael running in super deep to try and get force out from Ninjago. They haven't used yet. Only Alex has gone down, and now they don't even have any time on the point whatsoever, so they're probably not going to have to use this at all, Ninjago.
Yeah, it was a really weird miscommunication, I think. They ended up like sending a weird 2-man, and they sort of forced themselves to take a trade across point while waiting for respawners, MGCS did, and just didn't work out for them. Too much to make use, too much for Michael to shoot at in order to try and get a force. And Ninjago successfully kited it away, and now they still have an Uber here. And oh, MGCS is really caught. They could get caught to an Uber here if they just pop. They could just pop on them, and I'm really clenching, like really afraid for them. But they do manage to just kite away, give up the point for Ninjago, and they're gonna just look to try and take this refight with even Ubers now, as Reverie goes behind, gonna cause a distraction, pull him back. 3 red players for him. What an actual beautiful distraction play. And now GCS taking that point pretty much for free. Reg gonna try fighting for it, but they are down a player. Not ideal for them.
Yeah, not ideal currently, and they're just trying to get onto that capture point, like you said, just try and force it out. Now the Uber is going to be coming out from Ninjago. They do get the counter Uber from Sunny, a little bit better for MGCS in the meantime. They're going to trace pretty deep for this. Actually, Alex going to be caught off over by Japan, gets taken down. Now the bomb coming in from Crazy over by Cliffside. Sunny taken down. Nice stuff from Reverie as well. Just chaos as everyone on Ninjago wants to maybe try and go forward, see if they can get onto Sunny, but both scouts very weak. Hami was down, gonna have to back up, is going to be Mobe, and for the meantime, I think that is going to be their hopes of pushing nullified at the moment. is going to set up MG for an opportunity to try and get back into this game. They're at time disadvantage, but now they at least do have the Uber advantage, as we do have a pause, Mr. Grape Juice.
Interesting. This pause leads me to believe, I know everyone complains about GG lag and etc., but it sure seems like this is a round loss, a narrow round loss for MGCS, just based on the time left on the clock. And so I'm interested to see what sort of adjustments they want to make. But so far, with that fight that we just watched, we have been informed that it is just a tech pause. Or it's a tech pause. No, that's not a tech pause, it's a tech pause. Someone lagged out. Okay. My bad, chat. But that fight that we just saw, it was really, really hard for Ninjago to try and recommit there, because the 4-man that, or the Uber across, sorry, that MGCS took just resulted in so much damage being spread out along with killing Finman that Ninjago just couldn't put the pieces together to try and salvage. Like, Mobe was like 12, Hami was like 40, Rave was off getting a pack with like 10 HP also. Like, there's just no chance in hell they can throw together a salvage with those conditions, and so MGCS got to take the point for pretty free there.
Yeah, that just set things up beautifully for MGCS, because even though time is ticking down, it is paused, they still do have a bit of a time disadvantage compared to which probably not what we would have expected, considering, this is their map pick. This is the map that they thought they had the best chance of winning in this best of 3. So for Ninjago to come out early with a good first round, and honestly, up until that fight, like you said, they were having a pretty good second round as well. So MGCS maybe just finally getting back into the swing of things and being able to kind of use that pressure and bait Ninjago into a poor Ubers effectively, which they kind of did there with the counter use, as I think we did have a little bit of a pause or repause right there. So maybe someone loading back in to the server, which is usually what that means. So hopefully for Reverie, things are going a-okay and it's not something too disastrous. But, I mean, if you are MGCS, even if this is a tech pause and, you hoping Reverie gets into the server, you still got to use this as an opportunity to think, all right, what's been going wrong? What can we do? They've been playing, like you said, the point pretty well and kind of forcing Ninjago to use those Ubers. The problem is that other than that last time, every Uber that Ninjago has used, it seems like they've been able to at least get onto Sunny or make it into a point where the Uber does what it needs to do regardless of whoever they had to use to block the point.
And it's just going to be MGCS. They do have this like about 50% Uber advantage. We try and play the point. Our HUDs are broken, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit hard to keep track of that stuff, but it's about 50 ad for the blue team. We're at 90% now, apparently. And they're going to be going across, touching the red team. Finman going down also. Alex going down as well. Really miscount, surely, from Ninjago there, because I can't imagine why they would want to be stuck so far in with that big disad, but Mobe going for a salvage, unable to make it happen, and should be another like 30% Uber advantage here for the blue team, I do believe, if I'm counting correctly, as they're getting really aggressive, really just forcing them, not letting them do anything, not at all buying them the time, to get out on the cliff and get any purchase, and a humongous, gigantic, giganormous Uber advantage for the blue team as Moby on Sniper in the main door, going for a peek. It's Sunny!
Let's go. He came up on Sniper because Ninjago, they wanted to try and get out and not make themselves get forward held, but they failed in that respect. But Mobe taking it into his hands and giving his team an opportunity to get back into this round as Michael PC1 is on fire over in house. It's just going to be able to stay alive as everyone else on Ninjago does move forward. Now Hami on the chase can be able to win that one fairly easily. Michael was at a sliver of hit points. That is where Reverie left. That's presumably where we did have the pause. So going to be able to get back in with the rest for his team to try and help in this team fight. But JJ DeWitt going down early is not a great way to start that off, and Reverie as well going down. Not how they want to do this. Only 40 in the favor of Ninjago. Enough time for them to get their respawners because they don't have control of the point. It's going to be a quicker respawn for them, but every death here is going to be very detrimental to their opportunities of getting back onto that point.
Yeah, going for the forward break. No pyro this time. Sorta's getting through. That's crazy. Killing a Rave there, and now they're just going to refight with this Uber situation with the soul pick. They should be able to bully the point quite aggressively. Both Sortas flying in here. Crazy on the connector. Oh, on the cliff, gets taken down by the pipe of Alex. And now Ninjago actually being the team to use first here is now it's going to be a bloody war on the point. MGCS trying to catch caught players here, but Mr. Kausa behind, picking up the kill on Sunny. There's just too much Ninjago's giving them to deal with here, and it's gonna be a round win. Round win for Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu.
Yeah, they're showing their Spinjitzu right now, you know, doing some nice high-flying acrobatics around. I don't know what Spinjitzu is, but that's what I imagine.
I don't know either. I'm just gonna pretend it's Beyblade and they're just letting it rip. That's the only Spinjitzu I know.
Well, hopefully MGCS have got their own Beyblades in store, and they're going to let it rip, because currently down 2-0 on their map pick. Not a great way to start this best of 3, as doing a lot of damage, however, onto Ninjago, but it's going to be them getting the picks. Referee, Sunny, JJ all falling down. Crazy trying to go for a bomb, does find the damage onto Alex, but it's only going to be the 2 scouts left. They find one. Mobe has to defend, is going to be able to get that nice shot off onto Imagine, and Michael PC1 is too far away to really be a threat. Just gonna be doing a little bit of a pepper damage right over there, doing some scattergun shots from far away. Now Reverie coming back with the cavalry, but Michael PC1 goes down before everyone can get there. So now it's going to be player advantage in the favor of Ninjago.
And Uber advantage as well. They're gonna have a really easy time defending the point here. MGCS needs to back off a little, get re-healed, get all their players alive, and really set up for a 4-man.
Yes.
One detail that's sort of been catching MGCS off is that they're, I guess they're getting Ubered into. I'll finish this thought later. As so Sunny and Michael getting basically like sticky piped like pretty much at the same time, it looked like, and now MGCS trying to look for salvage as Imagine gets caught while trying to post up. Grape pushing into connector, Mild on the grass gets. Oh, they're just getting bullied. It's just a war. It's so impossible for them. A big detail, sorry, about MGCS that's sort of putting them on the back foot is they're always seemingly losing one player before the fight even starts. JJ do it, dying like twice. Once on a 4-man, once on a Uber forward hold break. Like Michael dying there before the fight started. Like it's continuous bleeding from MGCS that's causing them to sort of be on the back foot in every single fight.
Yeah, it's
probably gonna. Did
yeah,
get air
trades
shot?
out. Yeah, with Crazy. I think it was an air shot, but Reverie over in connector. Very, very weak. Hami is going to take the Uber. Sunny super weak as well. They're going to lose one, and Sunny is going to go down as well. Hami on the chase finds that one with the pistol. Reverie does bomb on the point. Oh, nice surf from Finman to stay alive there, expertly surfing onto the cliff, and is going to be able to be up even though everyone else on Ninjago has fallen. So with the player advantage, that is going to give MGCS control of the point. They do deny their soldier. However, Reverie is going to have a little bit longer of a spawn. Ninjago with the faster spawners going to be able to come back onto the point with slight Uber advantage. It's only about 20%, but definitely usable if they let it rip as soon as they get it.
Yeah, for now, it looks like it's actually even out. Sunny building quite well off these hurt players and Hami taking a lot of damage, so looks like maybe Ninjago will get baited into using an Uber that they don't actually want to use once they find out that the Ubers have even out a bit, as they've sort of pulled away again. But Ninjago just looking to bully this point, try and get the cap time, as much cap time as possible under their noses. Crazy getting lots of soldier spam onto Finman. Reverie can be bombing in. They use Uber, wow, just from that bomb. Reverie didn't even know where Finman was. Finman just sort of fear popped, but respect, honestly, it's the right play. You can't count on the soldier to not know where you are. And Crazy and Reverie just trying to make what they can happen. Nice rocket from Crazy onto Mr. Kausa, the 100 ping king.
Oh, dang.
Red team sort of just, they're staging up on their grass, not letting the feed happen onto them. As now, Crazy boat from Reverie, or onto Reverie from Finman, as VCS, big Uber advantage. If Ninjago walks up too far, they're at risk of getting popped on. They just pop on him. They're trying to catch Finman on the cliff. Finman put in the corner, gets killed. They're gonna have to back up now. JD do it, picks up Rave and surfs back to the grass and gets killed by Hami. That was quite comedic.
Oh, but Mo getting onto Sunny from behind,
goodness.
doing that flank scout business and just wrapping around behind as everyone else on MGCS was trying to back up from that push that went very, very well for them. But then in the post fight, it's just going to be a little bit better for Ninjago now because they don't have control of the point. They're going to have the faster respawners, meaning they can get to this point a bit quicker. Finman is going to have an uber advantage. Sunny on the disc, and so they're only just now getting up, and there's already so much cap time in the favor of Ninjago. JJ very, very weak. He's going to have to wait for an error. And like you said, these players going down early from MGCS has just been biting them in the behind time and time again. Reverie going for a big bomb, trying to get onto Finman. Not going to be able to make it work. Everyone else on MGCS extending very far forward as well to try and help off of it. And they might lose Imagine. JJ might also be at risk of falling depending on how much damage goes and the damage trade. And then you've also got Crazy in the backlines in another 1v1 with Rave AC. And I think these guys have had so many 1v1s on Cliff Grape Juice. They've just been fated to meet and fated to trade.
I think so. It's quite silly, honestly, the amount of like soldier trades on the cliff that we're seeing. But yeah, looks to be a really aggressive, like almost 4-man type of situation from the blue team. But they do have their beam on point. It looks like they should just chill. Like they did kill the demo man on the little main door there. And if I'm MGCS, I want to ball up on point. Crazy's gonna die on the cliff behind them, maybe just try and jump around and get out. Maybe not engage with Rave, but right now if I'm blue team, I'm gonna want to just let the red team just lock him out. JJ do it, put those stickies on that main door, just reset, chill out. We have the point. I don't know how much cap time is actually left because the pause broke it, but I think it's about 1 minute to 40 seconds. Yeah, just force them out. It's about 10 disad. No big deal. Just reset, get the point, keep the point rather, and just buy your time.
Well, 100% agree. I do want to say there is a pipe that is could take down Hami depending if he's holding the W key at the moment.
I see it.
Yeah, if he's holding the S key, then he's probably fine. But otherwise, he might be sent immediately to the respawn room, which would definitely help.
I know if it's 2019 and there's a gigantic box around this Iron Bomber pipe, I know it's definitely connecting. But we don't live in 2019 anymore, and the Iron Bomber hitbox is fixed, so it sure is a toss-up, I think.
Yeah, Hami could very quickly no longer be on the battlefield. But I do definitely agree. If you are MGCS, you just got to back up, keep control of the point. You might lose Crazy. He might be able to win his one without dying, but at that point, it's unlikely. I think that he's able to get out without dying, but it could be possible. Imagine is also at risk depending if Hami and Mob are able to get up there. So I think they do have a shot of being able to, like you said, consolidate onto the point, group up, get everyone nice and healed, because otherwise, just for trades going out, even if they do get every single one of these trades, it's just going to be better for Ninjago because they have the faster respawns, and they've also got, once again, very, very slight Uber advantage, but they might be able to at least let it rip. And even if they don't kill Sunny, which they've been having pretty good success doing, they might be able to get a couple picks, and then the counter Uber from MGCS is just not as good. Do we have a word if this is a tack or a tech pause so we can? Ooh, well, it's not a tech pause, so at least that we know of. So it might be a tack pause, which I think, minute 10 left for MGCS, 40 seconds left.
I would have to assume maybe MGCS wins this round and pauses and tries to gather themselves. One thing, additionally, with the bleeding players, that might be symptomatic of a same overarching issue is Crazy and Reverie are never landing on the same thing, it seems like. And that's a real big problem. Because one soldier bombs to the cliff, one soldier bombs to the grass. There's not a whole lot of synergy going on there. I think that's... I watched it happen right as this pause happened. Reverie bombing over the panels and Crazy bombing to the connector where she's at right now. And it's just really weird. It's just, they seem so disconnected. I praised them earlier for having such great pressure as a team, but it sure seems like maybe one of them is getting ahead of themselves or maybe just splitting up, especially on a Koth map with it being so chaotic. I think maybe they're just getting their attention split. And it's just not too much to react to. They are unpausing now.
Ooh.
Action is live. Crazy jumps away, and look at that. Look at blue team. They listened to me. They're resetting on the point. It's so beautiful. I love this.
They were watching the stream maybe, but that still doesn't mean that they're going to keep control of the point, as it does recapture in the favor of Ninjago. Sunny taking a bit of spam damage, and the Uber is going to come out from Ninjago very, very aggressively, trying to get onto Sunny before they can use, and they do. Holly finding that pick once again. That's going to be crazy. Up in the skybox, Sunny, Finman trying to surf, does surf to safety, and that cliffside area has been a safe haven for him every single time. So the Uber does come out. They get the medic, but once again, they are going to lose a few more players than MGCS. So MGCS going to be able to get onto the point, but it is going to now be a little bit of a even Ubers but still player advantage for Ninjago because they have the faster respawns now. But a Rave AFC might go down. Oh, just barely staying alive up on China.
Yeah, insane double soldier bomb to like just cause a whole bunch of damage and buy the time, but imagine gonna be falling here is Mr. Kausa getting up on that connector in a funny fight with Reverie here is the scouts are fighting on the point. Nice 2-pipe from Alex on a Michael. Sunny goes down to Rave, who I assume bombed across the cliffs and landed on China. Crazy gonna try to salvage, but it's just too little too late for MGCS.
Yeah, it's going to be 3-0 in the favor of Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu. And if you are MGCS, you've got one more round to try and get back into this game. The comeback has to start here, at least for this first map, obviously the 3, so they can afford to get this map up, but considering this is their map pick, they should be feeling maybe a little bit worried as the bomb's going to come in from the Ninjago soldiers. They do get a trade, Michael PC for Rave, but Mr. Kausa is going to go down without finding anyone. Michael PC actually on Sniper, so not going to be able to make anything work there, so maybe that is the adaptation from MGCS coming out there, but didn't really have any time to really manifest and show its worth. So at least for the meantime, we're not going to know, and we're not going to know even more because Michael BC1 switches back onto Scout, so opting not to stick with it, instead run the Classic Sixes roster as Ninjago, much more pressure on the point, are going to be able to get it up, and first capture up for Ninjago, going their way as Crazy unfortunately falls to fall damage.
That is very sad. You hate to see the crater, but Mr. Kausa bullying out Reverie on the flank route. Can go for a big bomb here. Opts to go behind. Michael looks to chase. They kite over to the cliffside. Both scouts not with the medic. This is really bad. Mr. Kausa on that medic, stuck in the corner. Sunny barely lives. Well, lives with 100. Could have been worse. And is just trying to refight here. Down a player here. Just trying to bully that red team. Bully that red team. Get that point back. Mobe going down to about half health on point. Reverie with a big flank kill. 2 scout kills through the connector. Huge rockets from him. And now Ninjago just forced to bomb with their explosives. Try and catch Sunny. Gets the force. Both these people should be going down. Demo dying in the house. There we go. And
Finman!
What happened?
Oh, I was just Reverie was on the chase because Finman super hard. Reverie was on the chase, but just barely was able to get the kill there. I think really great stuff from Rave AC to help their medics. So now that means that it is going to be roughly even Ubers, a little bit of Uber advantage in the favor of MGCS's Ninjago. Want to try and refight this? It's going to be Rave AC taken down over on Big Rock. Good stuff from Imagine getting that pick there. So they are going to have player advantage. Just Sunny super weak, gonna have to bait his team over by Cliff once again. So JJ might get caught out, takes a bit of damage. He's going to have to wait for the air. Ninjago able to get back onto the point because of it. Everyone had to back up just a little bit on MGCS, waiting for their medic as now they do have the opportunity to try and go for the pressure once again. Just going to be Imagine and Michael PC, standing on the point. Oh, Michael getting another. That's going to be 2 picks in the favor of Ninjago, and both scouts down for Ninjago. Now the bomb's going to come in, trying to get on the Sunny. They get him. Nice rockets from Rave AC connecting. Poor, unfortunate for Sunny, as Mr. Kausa is going to try and stay alive, wants to try and get the trade out. Does get the trade out onto Reverie, and immediately Hami coming in super weak. Imagine wasn't ready for it, and that is going to put massive player advantage in the favor of Ninjago, as well as 100% Uber from Finman.
Alex and Rave just alley-ooped Sunny there and just Just sticky the medic into the corner on Dogbread. Rave just hits an easy rocket on the unsuspecting medic, and oh, just so your heart bleeds for MGCS in that situation. As Reverie gonna be trying to go on a Finman, gets the force. Crazy also bombing and committing for that, gonna get picked up behind as well. So about even time, small Uber ad for MGCS. They're just gonna have to try and break a forward hold. There is no forward hold. They're already busted out on Cliff here as Ninjago gonna just try and bomb them. They get taken out, bleeding one by one. Alex cleans up house as a big flank from the soldier sort of pinches them. No kills from that soldier, I don't believe, but still a pretty big pincer action that sort of allowed Alex to get a bunch of kills there.
Still going to be better for MGCS. They have the fast respawners, and those late deaths meant they were able to just walk up onto the point. They do have player advantage, so this is a very good opportunity for them. They have.
It's quite
Just
committed.
use it.
Is Tcmano lagging? Okay, I'm gonna take over. Finman was looking pretty clear. MGCS sort of did miss an opportunity to use on him, but they're just gonna be defending that point. Alex sort of caught out on the right side. Big damage on Alex. Tommy sort of overextends. The Uber is popped out from both teams. Big exchange here as Michael looks to force out some flashes of Ninjago. It's a bit of a spam duel going on next to the connector as well, and both teams have reset. MGCS able to continue keeping the point here as Homie and Alex keep pressuring that connector side of the point. Rave going in for a big bomb here, goes behind, ends up getting picked up by Imagine as Alex really weak behind the rock. Ninjago forced out here as they retreat to the grass. Reverie with a big bomb, gonna try and catch Finman. Alex also caught here. They trade Michael for Alex as Mr. Kausa also craters, and JJ do it really out of position on the concrete, on the cliff, sorry. Pipes Homie, oh my goodness, Reverie in on Finman, Imagine in on that combo as well. MGCS, just 3 players alive, just try and escape here, just buy their time, lots of time on the clock here for them, 10 seconds left. Jago forced to fight this.
They are forced to fight, and they should be able to get onto the point. They do so. Only 4 seconds left for MGCS. This has been the best opportunity for them to win a round in this game so far. Just one team fight away from getting their first point on the board, as now they are going to try and pressure, which they have done very, very well so far. Michael PC1 maybe trying to go for the trade. Is going to be able to get onto Alex. Huge drop right there. That means there's going to be no demo for Ninjago, as now they are going to try and go around. Mr. Kausa does get one onto Reverie, but there's so much cap time in the favor of MGCS, and Ninjago have to get on it immediately. They don't. It's captured up. Only 0 seconds left. They capture.
They don't get on it.
Get their first round.
They don't stand on the point. The seeds have been sown.
Yeah.
The seeds have been sown. My prediction is very wrong right now, but all you need is 1 round to clap back on Koth. MGCS could ride this momentum to the end of the map. We could be seeing like a 45-minute product game here. Which, starting at 11 p.m., not the funnest thing in the world for playoff series, but, you know.
Hey, these guys have got to have that mental fortitude.
You could be having a 45-minute 5CP game as well, I suppose, so.
Yeah, that's true. You can have that continuous overtime go for quite a while, as we do. Yeah, we do have another pause.
Oh my goodness.
So that means, well, actually, that doesn't mean anything, because there's 3 minutes left for both of these guys, so. Reverie has apparently left the server once more. And I want to ask you a question, Grape Juice, because we did talk about the soldiers on MGCS earlier. Do you think, I know Crazy, like you said, is a really, really great soldier. Do you think that maybe that lack of soldier synergy between Reverie and Crazy has been catching them out on these first 3 rounds? They did have Moist DM. And even if, maybe Crazy is, a valid side grade or upgrade, depending on how you look at it, do you think that maybe just not having that synergy, especially on a map like Product, like you said, where those soldier bombs can be such a huge difference maker, and if you're just going around willy-nilly kind of bombing the wrong thing or not bombing what your other guy is bombing, it can really be a detriment. Do you think that's maybe been a factor or not that much?
It's likely a factor. Crazy as well, being a roamer player typically, probably more used to playing the connector side than the cliff side, which there is a dynamic shift there from the connector soldier to the cliff soldier. Cliff soldier, you got to be timing when you're up on that rock, sorry. The timing of like when you're getting shot at, like when you have to disengage from the rock, and maybe you want to be putting your spam on a connector to help out Reverie, and it's different. It's just different. And if you're not practiced at it, which I don't think Crazy is, it definitely can throw a wrench into your plans as a soldier player. That being said, however, I'm sure they did pregame this map. I'm sure as well Crazy has a rank for MGCS. I think last week she ranked for MGCS as well. So I don't think that's enough time really to get that soldier synergy up. I don't think that's enough time to get that like pocket synergy up for Crazy to get with the rest of the combo even. I think that's a very valid point that you bring up is, even if Crazy is a really good player, you slot a really good player into like the wrong roster sometimes, like that really great player doesn't get to shine, or that really great player can't elevate the rest of the team, right? So very valid point being raised for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Not sure what else to say.
No worries. Well, it seems like they've at least been able to make a few adjustments, winning that last round. But something that, aside from the soldiers, they have to maybe get a little bit better at doing is either protecting Sunny or getting onto Finman a bit more, because I remember that one bomb over towards Cliff. Finman was so weak. I felt like there were 3 different players all gunning for him, but just wasn't able to get the kill. And I think there's been a few scenarios where Finman has just been able to get out of dodge in the most unexpected ways. Some scenarios where he really should not have been able to live through. And then on the other side of things, there's been sometimes where, I think we've seen a few cases where Ninjago, they use their very small advantage in. They go in super duper deep. They do get onto Sunny, but then somehow everyone dies on Ninjago trying to chase that deep except Finman. And Finman's able to stay alive, and then Ninjago are able to come back up, refight the point again, and continue on like that. So I definitely think that, aside from the soldiers, either keep Sunny alive or just sell out for Finman even more.
I think a major key for MGCS here is going to be just getting Michael and Imagine to orbit, just constantly be orbiting Sunny, because there's times where they're both disconnected from the beam, or maybe they're both on the beam, and one of them could be off on the flank helping Reverie. I noticed that Reverie is getting sort of outspammed by Mr. Kausa sometimes. Like, maybe you want Imagine more with Reverie on some of these fights, but as a whole, I think MGCS is doing a pretty good job of killing Finman. I think so far in this match, what follows is they kill Finman, and everyone is just off on their own adventure, and it just ends up with Sunny being hung out to dry. I think when I'm talking about having both these scouts orbit, it's going to be in that situation where, okay, we get that medic kill, we get that demo kill, big pick. Like, what goes wrong here? How do we lose this? Sunny gets bombed somehow. How do we let Sunny get bombed? Nobody's with Sunny, right? So I think as a whole unit combo, like, really just gotta tighten up. Just tighten up. You kill Finman, okay, get the fuck out of there, dude. Like, oh my goodness. They in that first round, I believe, they took a pretty ballsy they decided to kite instead of back out through their connector. They went to the grass, and Sunny ended up getting caught out that way. As we unpause, and a bit of a trade. Here's Rave, gets in onto Sunny. Sunny dodging for his life, cleans up Rave. Crazy does, and JJ left on point, fending off these players, eats a huge pipe from Alex. And now MGCS just trying to force these people out here. Moby eating some damage.
Oh, JJ's so
pipe,
weak.
Huge clutch pipe as Uber gets forced out. They're going to have to try and chase out Ninjago here, as Finman ends up using the Uber. They trade Crazy for it. They pick up Sunny. Sunny went down so weak for that Uber, I believe, and just gets caught. And that's sort of what I'm talking about. They sort of overchase for that force, and they're just left sort of hung out to dry.
Yeah, they are. JJ with a nice trap over on China was able to catch out Rave with that one, so does give his team a little bit of player advantage, but still going to be uber advantage in the favor of Ninjago. That's not going to stop MGCS as they do try and get onto the point a little bit, taking doing a lot of good damage to the scouts from Open Hami around about half health, but it's going to be Michael, the other scout, the first one to go down, and once again they are going to be the first ones to lose a player in this team fight, which is only going to slow them down, make with their approach
Referee is
onto
standing
this
still
point.
in spawn. He just timed out in game.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is where the pause happened,
Yeah.
and this is where Reverie gets back in. So, fortunately now everyone on MGCS can be here to try and fight, as they're desperately going to need it. Reverie back in with the squad is going to be able to roll out here, but Crazy.
They paused again.
Ooh, they do
They gotta-
pause again.
They gotta stop pausing. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Weird. But pause again,
unfortunate.
which should be... Surely it's just Reverie having issues, right? This is something I talked about this. I mentioned as soon as MGCS won that first round, and I'm talking about like getting that momentum going. A player having these internet issues or whatever's happening to Reverie, his cat's pulling out the cord from his fucking from his computer or whatever. Like, this is a momentum killer for MGCS. If MGCS wants to ride their momentum off of winning that round, then this is the last thing they want to happen. I believe they just unpaused.
Yeah,
Or repaused to let Reverie back in, probably.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, man. Alternatively, this is also something that, you know, if you're Ninjago and you're up 3 rounds to 0, you're the hot team, right? Like, if you lose 1 round, still 2-round lead, right? Still 2-round lead, kind of chilling, right? This is a situation where perhaps if MGCS has a cool head, this could be something where instead of MGCS looking to warm up and really ride the momentum if they've been level-headed this whole time, this is an opportunity for Ninjago to sort of cool down and sort of be iced out by these pauses. And obviously, it's not intentional. It's not like we're in between maps and one team is just really taking their sweet time. But, you know, with Reverie continuing to lag out, like maybe Ninjago is sort of getting iced out here, and maybe MGCS can sort of prove to be have the, you know, cooler heads prevail, I suppose. But right now, constantly having a player out of a fight is really not ideal.
No, as JJ
rejoined, I think.
Yeah, they do rejoin as they 90 seconds in the future. We're going to have to see something similar. JJ taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to back up over the cliff as Sunny fiercely trying to tank him there. Imagine trying to get aggressive onto the point. Crazy on the big rock, just hailing it down that spam damage. Mr. Kausa very deep over in connector. No one getting on them just quite yet. Is now finally both scouts getting onto the point, trying to get the cap time in their favor. Imagine Michael VC one, but now the Uber comes in from Hami. They find one onto Reverie. Sunny might be caught out as well. Is anyone going to be able to get onto the med? No, Hami is going in super deep, should be cleaned up. Mob does take down Imagine, so it is going to be even in terms of players, but massive Uber advantage for Sunny, not having to use at all in that fight. Should be able to capture up the point, but the bomb comes in. It does get the force out. You know, better safe than sorry. 100% understand it. Mr. Kausa all the way in the backlines again. Should be a very easy cleanup.
Reverie just like standing still, like shooting a rocket, almost dying to Mr. Kausa with the skill stick out. But I think Mr. Reverie doesn't have items. He's on a full stock loadout right now, and that's definitely also not ideal on Koth. I've been there before as a shotgun roamer 3 years ago, and I said, fuck this, I'm putting the gunboats back on because this just isn't fun. And so I assume that they pause right here as he just DCs. They're trying to really wanting to get him back on gunboats, I assume.
You know,
he does have his loadout back. I see him rolling out. He does have his loadout back. And it's going to be about all these pauses. 20 ad for the red team. They do have Uber now, I do believe. And they're just going to be looking to bully their way on the point. Blue team, maybe. Ooh, they're kiting. JJ Dewitt goes down. Sunny gonna have to escape. Oh, gets caught out again. It's so disastrous. Just so disastrous for the blue team. If you're the blue team right now, it's such a wash. Huge bomb from Reverie actually picking up Finmin, and Finmin dying to the bleed damage from the ball, in fact. But that's a pretty clean recommit from the blue team. Really unfortunate they got Ubered on, but they did sort of salvage it. They do keep the point, in fact. Sort of disastrous if you're Ninjago to not be able to sort of clean up on that, but this is... Maybe it's not a wash if you're blue team. I take it back. They did keep the point. They do kill Hami with a crap kill on point. And Reverie pushing through the connector. Oh! Engages in Mr. Kausa. Escapes with his life back to the health pack. And blue team still has the point. Rave up on that big rock. Raining down rockets. Bombs away. Ninjago able to get the point back under their noses. As we do have about even Ubers here. My HUD is finally fixed. God bless America.
No, I know.
I can finally see Ubers again. And they're just going to be bullying this point from the connector side here. Mr. Kausa saying, no, you can't let that, I can't let that happen. No, sir.
Oh, Alex, nice pipe
Oh
on the
goodness.
crazy over on the big rock. They have a lot of cap time, however. Michael PC1, very, very weak, is going to have to back up for the meantime, get healed up. As now the Uber comes in from Mobe. Once again on the Sunny. Sunny is going to use just barely in the nick of time. Went down very, very weak there. And now the refight, the collapse coming in, trying to get onto Sunny from Ninjago. He's super weak, has to back all the way over to cliffside. Can anyone else? Oh, yes.
Point.
So
Mobe
many going down on Ninjago.
Concrete,
Alex
maybe.
is also going to go down, and now
goodness,
everyone.
Mobe
super weak there, barely being able to stay alive.
I think both those scouts in the connector had like no HP, and they both didn't want to be the person to peek it, which was pretty funny, honestly. Like either of them could have gotten that kill on the other one, but they both didn't want to risk it. As Reverie gets picked off on the connector side, Mobe and Mr. Kausa making it happen on this connector now. As JJ Do It eating a lot of damage on the point. Sunny gonna have to bow him. Mr. Kausa now a big threat behind. Both scouts sort of turning for him. Big rocket. Oh my goodness, hard to imagine from Mr. Kausa, the 100 ping king, as previously discussed. And Moby apparently also going down to a nice shot. All the soldiers are in crack rockets tonight. And
they are. They're just going wild out there. But someone who needs to go wild is MGCS. There's only 5 seconds left on the clock for Ninjago. They are going to go in, use the Uber on their demo. JJ Do It leading the charge, but I don't know how much good it's going to do. The counter Uber comes out from Ninjago. They have control of the point. JJ is going to go down. Rave is going to be traded out. A little bit of a scrappy DM fight on the point. Mobe taking down Imagine. It's looking better for Ninjago at the moment. Michael PC1 wants to try and play the point. They have to stay on top of it. They can't let Ninjago win this, otherwise they win the first map, but the kills are all going their way. It's only Reverie, the last one up. A nice pipe from Alex.
Wow.
And that is going to seal the deal 4-1. And Grape Juice, you were right about the score, just the wrong team.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I was so wrong. Honestly, man, I really think Reverie lagging out a whole bunch was just an absolute momentum killer. He's just a non-factor. Every time that he lags out, he's sitting in spawn for 20 seconds. His team has to go, oh shit, like fucking we're sitting here waiting, like playing a 5v6 or guys AFK. And then he needs to leave the game. They pause, get him back in. Now he's rolling out for another 10 seconds, like 3 times that match. It's such a momentum killer, even if they did win that one round. It sure does. I think he lagged out within the first 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that also can just completely take a winnable fight into an unwinnable fight, honestly, if you're just down a player on Koth like that. So if you're MGCS, you're praying to the good Lord above that your guy doesn't keep excuse me, I got interrupted by my producer whispering in my ear. You're praying to the good Lord above that your guy doesn't lag out. As we do have logs, I do want to take a look at those.
Yeah, one thing that immediately pops out to me is Sunny dying 16 times, Finman only dying 8. So Sunny dying at twice as much as Finman. It just goes to show that, once again, like you said, they weren't able to protect Sunny. Whether that's just poor positioning or, like you said, no one sticking by Sunny in those moments where they do actually manage to get onto Finman. And I think it is just a lot of them getting caught out by Ubers. There were so many times Hami went in, really just insta-gunned down Sunny. Like, that was the man that they wanted to get. They were able to get onto Sunny. And then just somehow Finman would manage to escape off into the sunset, meet back up with the respawners. So definitely something that they're going to have to at least take a note of going into Metalworks. But other than that, the scouts obviously had a really great game just in terms of kills. KD, the demos, top damaging Alex and
Alex,
JJ Do It.
450 from Alex is absolutely filthy, honestly. I was looking at the kills, I'm like, yeah, scouts on top. Alex 26 and 19. My eyes scan over 450. Oh my goodness, it's just gross. You look at that number, and even though it's Koth, and you're thinking like, yeah, Koth, Demo Man does a lot of damage. 450 is mind blowing. And taking 390 doesn't really matter when JJ Do It. The other Demo Man goes damage negative, taking 430, doing 400. Like, it's insane, man. That's an insane amount of damage. If you look at the heals as well, both demos over 30%. With the
they're tanking those heals.
It's crazy. I mean, they're taking 400 damage per minute. Like, you got to be healing your Demo Man. If you're down Demo Man on Koth, you're just down all that damage potential. You're down the trapping. If you're trying to forward hold, like, Your demo's got to stay alive. Demo is like easily one of the most important classes on Koth for sure. And yeah, I think, it's worth mentioning, I guess, that with with mild constantly lagging out, like that's one less player who's like, sort of alleviating that pressure in like at 4 or 5 fights. Surely Reverie was just a non-factor because he literally wasn't in the game. He couldn't even input. That's not trash talk to call him non-existent. He's literally just he's timed out. He has a little red text in his top right. Like, how could he possibly be doing anything for his team under those circumstances, right? So
Yeah, no,
yeah, I feel for them. I mean, the score says 4-1, but I think that timing out can have a real big impact. And fellas, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm just gonna keep it 150 with you guys. I gotta
No
run.
worries.
So tell them not to ready up yet. And Tcmano, keep the kids entertained, will you?
Okay, I will try my darndest. But no, 100% agree with what Grape Juice was saying. You have to feel for MGCS because Reverie being taken out, just time and time again, even if they did manage to time it where the moment that Reverie, leaves the server, he had just actually died anyways. So like he's not missing anything, which wasn't the case at all. That's still just a huge kind of momentum destroyer, which is what MGCS desperately needed after finally getting that first round in the fourth of product, where they needed to win every single round after that. Having to stop, start over and over again can be really, really draining in a very unique way because it really feels like you're not allowed to play the game in a very specific way. Because like if you have all six there and you're just losing, sure, it may feel like you're not allowed to play the game that you want, but when it's like someone's network or kind of not letting them have a stable connection to the server or something like that, being lagging out in Discord, it just feels like something that is almost outside of your control in a very, very different way that can be so draining to your mental. So hopefully MGCS are going to be able to, hopefully for Reverie's sake, and the rest of his team's sake, they're able to get that going and it doesn't happen anymore on Metalworks, and they're able to kind of bounce back from that, both as we lost the first map, but also from our player kept lagging out, and that's a very good reason and a very important reason of why we lost the first map. So hopefully they're not going to let that affect them too much. They're going to be able to close that door, move on from it, and move on to Metalworks, which is going to be our second map of this best of three. If MGCS do win this, we are going to be able to go on to, which will be very, very interesting. But otherwise, Metalworks, Grape Juice, what are your thoughts on this? This was Ninjago's map pick, so presumably they're feeling a bit more confident about they were about product. But as we already said, in the regular season, these teams played on Metalworks, and it was actually MGCS who won this, albeit very narrowly, 3-2.
No, it was just the playoffs that they won. They played just the playoffs. Gotcha. In their last meeting, they lost 3-2. Like I was talking about earlier, they did win product, and to win the map that isn't your pick, to win the enemy team's pick in a playoff series is absolutely huge. It swings the momentum so much in your favor, especially in something that's just a best of three. Absolutely. But I think I did say Ninjago, their biggest strength is moving together as a team. I think that was illustrated quite well on product. And with the discussion about Sunny not being protected, where they're kiting once they get that Finman kill, etc. MGCS though, as I mentioned as well, their big strength is pressure. And on a 5 CP, where you have the choke point as a bit of a barrier, I think MGCS could improve upon whatever they had going on in their recent win. As well, though, you can't discount the fact that Ninjago had him in demo reviewing. Like they picked the map that they lost in the last series against this team, and it's a ballsy move. I'm sure they did it with a reason. Yeah, I have to assume that they're going to make some big adjustments, and maybe they can pull out a pretty big win here. I think to flip my prediction, I sort of already had an idea of who's going to win this in mind. This could if MGCS sort of lets their mistakes that they were making on product seep into this game, this could easily be like a 4-2 for Ninjago with how confident they are that they had to have been in order to pick this. But stick with my gut feeling and be super biased towards my best friend Crazy. I really think that the better Soldier player on Soldier can really elevate that pressure game and really elevate, because Metalworks is such a Soldier heavy map. If Crazy can just cut down to deaths like 10% to what maybe Moist Jam would do, maybe, you know, just see those timings to make a play better than Moist can, then, you know, it can be the big difference maker here. Such a Soldier heavy map.
We are going to be
first mid fight.
Yeah, going live on the first mid fight, MGCS versus Ninjago. As going to be maybe all eyes on Crazy after shouting them out. Is actually getting bullied over by Truck. Is going to have to back up as Ninjago are very aggressive. They immediately get onto Sunny. Question, can they keep Finman alive? They should be able to. Finman super far back in Lunchbox has the whole team, or what's left of it, protecting him. A nice pipe from
JJ
Alex
catch
onto
2 pipes.
JJ. And with that, they are going to hightail it out of middle. The 2 remaining scouts from MGCS meet back up with Sunny, who is just waiting for someone to hit that heal beam on finally. Now the soldiers come up, and that's going to be a very convincing and good first mid fight for Ninjago.
I'm really surprised as soon as Finman backed up into that phone top right that they even attempted to stay in the mid. JJ Do It going down so late really really just throws a wrench into anything that MGCS could have been able to hold up on too, like if, you know, get some sticky traps up, etc. Is they do have the pyro hold up on the left side from the attacking team's perspective here, as Ninjago all the time in the world, honestly. 50 ads still, they could spot it, they just end up trying to rip it as they tank this pyro, trying to air blast people away from the gun. Michael PC1 does go down, Rave really weak, getting catch a bow as Sticky still all over the point from JJ Do It. Crazy bombing this red combo. Rave on the vent drops down. They win because they have Uber advantage, honestly. There's no real further discussion. Like, MGCS has to sort of scramble and just not dilate Uber and just try and get something happening on the post Uber, and they had what, 85%, something like that by the time that they lost the round. Like, Rave up on the vent just gets to shoot down, and whoever tries to fight the point from that side, it's just, you know,
it was just death and destruction.
We lost a 70 Uber ad.
You hate to see it, but hopefully this will be a little bit better for MGCS. Last time it was just the immediate bomb coming on the Sunny, and it happens again. But this time seems like the Soldier's Crazy being a little bit more proactive here, trying to get onto Finman. Had the opportunity to, just wasn't looking. Finman going all around the map, somehow still alive, and now finally Reverie with the rocket, and that is going to be the mid-win, a much-needed mid-win for MGCS. Sunny did still go down, but it doesn't matter. Everyone on Ninjago being sent to the respawn room.
Absolutely. I think a big key for that mid fight is that Sunny ended up dying like pretty deep in the valley that mid compared to the last one, I believe. And so it just pulls the rest of the team forward and sort of allows them, sort of what I was talking about on product with that one Grath kite that MGCS did. With Sunny dying in the valley, it sort of pulls red team in towards that death point in order to kill Sunny in the first place, right? It sort of opens them up to getting chaosed on. Finman unable to get out through the house there in time.
Ami up on Sniper, gonna be just there as a defensive class for Ninjago in the moment
here. They're gonna have a pyro even Uber's hold here, which is quite interesting. They're gonna have a real tough time killing the gun. Do they think that they have bigger disad than they thought? Because this looks to be a disad hold from the red team here. Looks like the MGCS could bust through the right side, which is exactly what they're doing. Trying to get onto Mr. Kausa. Try spam down that gun. That pyro is way too far away. Ends up getting some reflex in, but yeah. Red
it's just
now
being
realizing
annoying
it's
right
even
now.
Ubers, they move that gun up.
Yeah, that pyro just being annoying, flare shotting those poor soldiers trying to get in and spam down the gun.
They just got to get re-healthy here, try and work something here. The pyro is going to be so frustrating to try and spam down the gun. I'm honestly looking for MGCS here to just try and send a sack, and that works. Reverie goes down to Mr. Kausa, and you know, maybe get Reverie onto the man treads, or get maybe Mike, who's their combos? Because their flank scouts Imagine. Maybe get flanks, their Imagine back onto Spy, maybe do a sap and sack. Like, this Metalworks last is such a hard, even Uber stalemate to break that you kind of got to get creative here. Reverie is on the man treads. He is on the man treads. Oh my goodness, I'm a super genius. And they're just gonna, I assume, what's gonna happen here is Crazy's gonna spam from that left side. He hits a nice direct onto Rave, and yep, here he comes. A big high bomb. Not getting denied by the gun. They have the fucking teleporter, bro. Are you for real?
But they do lose actually a few players. They lose Hami and Alex, so this could be a good opening for them to try and pressure just a little bit more. However, Crazy is going to go down there, so that opportunity is no longer available for MGCS. They're just going to have to back up, wait for their respawners, and, you know, I don't know actually how much time is left on the round timer, but they have to start thinking about maybe 1 minute 30, so they do have a bit more time to go for some sacks. After those, they do have to start to think about maybe just trying to go for an even Uber exchange and hope that they play the post a little bit better as it's slowly ticking down and we're getting closer and closer to the possibility of seeing a round reset happen.
Yeah, both these photos on gunboats now. Imagine it. Oh, Michael, they both just peek the same trap. Michael goes down for that, and Alex gonna be just trying to pressure them out here. Really?
Oh, Mr. Kausa!
Flank from Mr. Kausa.
Sonny doesn't use. That
goodness.
is insane. That is so insane.
Mr. Kausa got juggled just slightly. He's complaining about splash in the chat. You know what he hit, chat? The resup door, the shutter. If you exit the resupply door to your right, he splashed that wall, not the wall that Finman was sitting in the corner, or that Sonny was sitting in the corner of, as they do have a Putis. Michael has a Putis. Ooh. And he's complaining about splash. He splashed the wrong wall. No, sir, Mr. Kausa. Oh my goodness, they just rev up on the gun. And
they use
smart,
the
honestly,
Uber
with
in.
The pyro.
Oh, they're not getting a lot of space.
They didn't get a force, though. Crazy jumps up on... Oh, Crazy's just making a solo play here. This is not... They just left. They're going to opt for a round reset. This is what this is. They're going to try and hold them out and just round reset.
Yeah, they should be able to, as it doesn't look like Ninjago is going to go forward with their own advantage. They didn't have to use there, but instead of opting to take their chances on a mid reset and maybe do what they did in the first round and immediately mid to last. But as the announcer ticks down, that is the call to send us back mid. A stalemate on Ninjago's last. Still going to be Ninjago 1-0 in terms of this map, and if you're looking at the overall score of this best of 3, they are 1-0 in terms of maps. MGCS need to win this. They want to continue on to the third map and do the grand final, so all eyes on them coming out on this third mid fight.
Absolutely. Eyes up. Sonny, eyes on the sky. You got double bomb 2 mids in a row. You gotta be... MGCS has to be on the lookout for that double soldier bomb as they are baiting towards the valley here. JJ do it, walking up. Sonny's still a little bit scared. JJ sort of unable to get healed as Sonny gets bombed on. Oh my goodness. Oh. Missed the rocket, but Moby cleans that up. And wow, that's so disjointed from MGCS. I mean, Sonny very clearly baiting in the valley door there, and JJ do it decided, no, I'm going to walk up this right side, get that top right pressure. There's no beam on the demo man. They sort of get split. Sonny gets baited up to try and keep healing his demo man, gets caught out, and really just disjointed gameplay. MGCS leads to the mid victory for Ninjago here. Big Uber advantage.
It seems like MGCS gonna have an opportunity to set up on second just a little bit. Michael PC1 up on the sniper and might be able to get in a position to try and go for a headshot as the soldier is going to be bombing around. Oh, nice sticky from JJ. Takes down Hami and Rave immediately. Crazy on the charge. Does a lot of damage onto Alex. Should be able to get away is Alex, but that is going to have to be the push canceled from Ninjago. MGCS not going to be able to really go forward because they still do have Uber Disad and Michael PC1. Their main pocket scout is up on sniper, so they don't really have that main scout to immediately go forward and take control of all that space, so it is going to even out, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty favorable for MGCS, who were looking at being sent back to their second. They do, to their last, sorry. They do have Michael PC, however, still up on sniper.
And they don't know, I don't believe.
You're right, I don't think they do.
So Michael's just playing for red team here to cross into the valley and hopefully get a shot onto Finman as He is sort of tucked away, and usually if you're gonna spot who's seeing under, you're gonna see from like the big door, and you're just gonna turn your mouse to the left, and you're gonna keep running. So Michael in a bit of an interesting spot here. They really have no clue. Really no clue here from the red team. They really have their eyes forward, and they do send like a double soldier fade bomb. Sunny drops down to the low ground, cleans up Mr. Kausa, and maybe they did know of the sniper, and that's why they didn't commit for a pressure, really, because sure is interesting as Michael now going to be going for a shot from Valley. He gets all this space, huge, huge, huge skybox to work with here. Big sightline, demo on the point. Soldiers fading, creating some pressure, and MGCS think better of standing their ground in Valley. I think they could have gone for another shot there, but play it safe. Yeah. It's a big playoff series. Can't afford to lose another round here. Want to stabilize and, you know, play it safe.
Ninjago over in lobby, just kind of distributing those heals. Maybe Hami want to go for an Uber exchange, and they are going to. They use in. The counter Uber is going to come out mainly on a Crazy from Finman. JJ also there to try and get into the mix. Hami running around into a bunch of Ubered players right here. Reverie and Hami are going to trade out. A little bit of chaos over here. Imagine going to go down, working a little bit better for Ninjago somehow, some way. I thought that was going to go a lot better for MGCS. Now player advantage for Ninjago. They're rotating over through alley, gonna be able to make their way in. Mr. Kausa already bombing to make some space. Rave AC jumping in as well, and through that Uber exchange, they've been able to successfully get a point off of MGCS.
Yeah, a key detail there for that exchange for Ninjago is that MGCS has that sniper. It's just so difficult. It's a great play, good heads-up play for them to try and take that exchange onto the sniper. As now they're gonna be ripping a double soldier bomb, air shot by the pyro. Oh my goodness, the detonator air shot. Rave gonna be going down. Mr. Kausa might burn to death here? No. Gets saved, gets picked up by Crazy, in fact. Yeah, so Ninjago with that sniper, with the sniper on the enemy team taking that trade, pretty creative, honestly. You don't see that very often. Allows them to take the second point, because Michael on sniper just doesn't have that chasing power of Scout. Is Reverie going for a big bomb, gets that force, tries to go behind, buy as much time as possible. Moby trying to chase him down.
Oh my.
Gets picked up by the two of them. Alex just died to Michael.
Michael hit a flare shot rocket jump, you know what I mean? He's been practicing on that pyro map.
Oh!
They have a second pyro has hit. Actually, no, that's still Mike. Oh my god, nice reflect onto Mr. Kausa.
Second Michael PC1 has hit the towers.
A second Michael PC1 coming out. And, yeah, amazing stuff. Making pyro, channeling his inner Kawa, so to speak. But JJ channeling his inner Habib, hitting a nice pipe onto Hami. That's going to be the cause for MCPC1.
Finman almost caught that rocket as well. That was almost disastrous. Nice dodge from Finman. Sort of salvaging an almost 2-for-1 kill with a spam rocket. Moby getting pestered out by Crazy, and Imagine as JJ just keeps spamming, forces Alex out here, and MGCS takes control of the midpoint. What about even Ubers here?
Now, about even Ubers, there's just going to be an opportunity to slow down the game. There's been a lot of chaos, but this is really good for MGCS. They forced back on their last all-the-way, and they've been able to regain all that ground. Still going to be 1-0 in the favor of Ninjago. So MGCS have to try and take this opportunity with both hands. Doing a lot of damage onto Alex. Is going to be a bombing Reverie. Crazy, however, is going to go down, and this is going to be a mirror of what we see previously. Now, nice bomb onto Sun. He's so weak. He had to use that Uber. I think he was only 7 hit points. So very respectable use from Sunny. We do have a pause, and looking at where all the players are, Imagine, I don't think is going to have enough ground, enough Uber to really get on to Finman. There should be enough players in the way to really block that one happening off, but Finman might still use to maybe try and save Alex if they do enough damage onto them. Regardless, it's going to be very interesting to see how this Uber gets out. It's going to be critical for MGCS to either force the Uber, I think, from Ninjago, or ideally get a couple of key picks onto Mob or Alex.
They do have 90% of their Uber remaining, and Imagine and Michael are both eyeing up that back door with JJ do it sort of in the front of the main door. It's entirely possible here that Ninjago sort of get caught in this house as Imagine and Michael trying to sort of chariot Uber into the house and trying to pick up these kills and maybe make use of the rest of it to try and run away, but it's going to be really, really tricky here because Ninjago also could just W key forward, go at like the top left door maybe, and just be in a position to just be so far away from the blue team who's trying to escape, they just won't be able to get anything done. With their Uber, the blue team, I mean. And, you know, if blue team maybe chases it into house as red team sort of shoves up the top left, like, that'll put the blue team in such a bad position to just get popped on and wiped here. So, it can be a pretty critical heads-up call here that needs to be made, and hopefully if you're the blue team, you can sort of salvage this sort of house shove from the red team that resulted in you getting forced. So yeah.
No, I
Maybe they go behind. Maybe they just take their Uber to Valley and just force them to come all the way back and just buy the time for spawners. Like, it's really, really weird. It's gonna be tricky. Anything could happen. I look at this position right now and I have no clue what the play is gonna be. I really have no clue what's going on in anyone's mind. So
we
get
don't
to sit
know.
here. We get to sit here. We're paused, and we get to say, "Oh, but obviously, because they're down, you know, MGCS is down 2 soldiers, and their medic has 7 HP, and you know, they're all so forced up in the red house, like on the red team, like they can just push it into mid and do this, that, and the other thing too." The game isn't paused right now for these teams. These guys are gonna be making quick heads-up decisions. They don't get the benefit of getting to look at the cast and seeing everyone's health and everyone's, you know, positioning, etc., right? So it's going to be a really, really important heads-up decision for both of these teams here.
Yeah, it would be a very, very different game if everyone had all that info at all times. I think it'd be actually interesting just to see maybe if someone did like a show match where I don't know how you'd be able to get that. Maybe you have like
just
a mini map or something.
Just like a hackathon, but like, oh, there's an effect. Or am I stupid? No, that's in Minecraft. I was thinking about the spectral arrows, you know what I mean? You can see people through walls. I think there is a oh, you know what it is? On the player destruction, like the seal map and the invasion, we are in the beam map, like
it shows
the person
the outline of
the person who has the most kills or whatever, has the most bottles, or whoever has the most fish. Is there like highlighted? I'm sure you could do that as well. I mean, even on the STV, I can see outlines of all the players through walls, right?
Same,
some players through walls. So.
As we do go live, Alex is going to get caught out. That's really, really good there for MGCS. They are, however, very weak. They are going to have to try and back up, which they have done, at least successfully. At the meantime, JJ taking a lot of damage, might fall.
Oh my goodness.
No, just barely stays alive over in his lobby. And that's still going to be Uber advantage for a Ninjago. Oh! Right, he's going to go behind. Now the Uber does come out, maybe trying to get, they do find one onto Michael. This Uber is going to try and chase as long as possible, but Crazy over in the back lines did find one onto Mobe. Now has the exit blocked off for Ninjago. They're all pictured.
It's oh my goodness, it's just a collapse. It's just, they're stuck in the door. Oh my days. My goodness, man. That's crazy. It literally is crazy.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. Crazy getting Mr. Kausa. That is going to be another late death for Ninjago, and Alex is just going to try and escape. Doesn't want to be the second late death there, because not having your demo to try and sticky trap those doorways can be very disastrous for them if that did happen, but they're still not in a good position. Very good for MGS. However, as they're going to be coming in with full Uber advantage, an opportunity to maybe get that first point on the board. Is it going to happen? They take down the sentry gun. They find a nice pick onto Hami. That Pyro not really blocking that doorway at all. A bomb soldier super weak. Nice collapse from Crazy. It's only going to be the heavy and Demo left alive. They get one. That's not going to be enough. It's going to make it 1-1. We got a tie game on our hands, Grape Juice.
Huge round win for MGCS. Swings the momentum right back in their favor. Big overchase into the blue second from Ninjago there. Gets them stuck with both floaters behind on mid. Gets stuck in the phone, and they just get an insane crossfire in the tiny little doorway. Just gets snowballed all the way to the last. Big round win for MGCS as this third mid fight. I'm really hoping Sunny doesn't get double bombed, because ouch. Because
that would be ouch for Sunny. It seems like, however, the soldiers on Ninjago not going for the immediate aggression that we've seen in the previous mids. This time, however, it's going to be River going for something, and Crazy falling up, doing a lot of damage onto Alex, not getting the kill. That's so unfortunate there, as both projectile players going down. It's only going to be JJ, Imagine, and Sunny trying to escape mid, and you did kind of get your wish. They didn't double bomb Sunny, but still not going to be a 1 mid for MGCS.
They're really struggling. I mean, both teams are postured so passively. It's really difficult to try and force a double soldier bomb there to try and catch someone, because everyone is positioned so passively on the red team. Like, there's no real bomb target there. And big reflect from Michael PC1. Mr. Kausa, 100 ping king. No match for the 30 ping pyro. Really just super tragic here. They are going to try and work a counter-sack here. Reverie, we peek in that lower door. Alex does... Oh, okay, goes to the big shutter door instead. I was about to say, Alex didn't have stickies on the lower door and wasn't really looking at it, so maybe could have been a big opportunity for Reverie there, but alas, a counter-sack is a counter-sack, you know, no harm, no foul. And we do see Hami coming back up on Sniper now. Gonna be taking that right lobby.
I think this is the first time
here. No, going for the right peek. Big right swing, as JJ does have stickies on it. So we might just see a Sniper insta. Yeah, okay. Sniper insta. Yeah, well, I took the words right out of my mouth.
There you go.
Brave actually caught in the left lobby, maybe. Jumps out just in the nick of time, dude. Michael on the pyro here. This is interesting. This is interesting technology that I don't even think when I played a playoffs match against Kawa on this map, I don't think she was doing this to try and break the board here. As guys, stop shooting rockets at Michael. It's not working. Stop doing that. It's not. No, stop it. No. Stop.
It's the granary second mentality. You know what I mean? You can have that that pyro in that kind of close-knit space, and so maybe just trying to work something from that. But now the bomb's gonna come in. They have a lot of opportunity. Oh, that's a drop. Rave AC connecting the damage with Mr. Kausa, and that is going to be all the Uber taken away from MGCS. They did lose 3 in that. Mobe, Rave, and Mr. Kausa all going down, so they are going to have to give up second, but I think they're going to be okay with that.
Mantread's diff. Mr. Kausa had the shoes on, couldn't deny him, and then he's just in on that medic. The flank players get to flood the doors, and crazy big high bomb, up on the clueless Spinman. Oh, gets the force.
Does get the force, and is going to be very good for MGCS, because now that gives them an opportunity to slow down the game. Ninjago not going to have that Uber advantage to really immediately roll in onto Last Whiff, so they're instead going to have to build it up. They are going to be at very slight Uber disad, but I'm not a betting man.
I don't imagine it's pushable.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man, but I don't think they're going to push out here.
Yeah, big sentry gun, big Putis. It's really looking like it's just going to even out here. There's a minute and 30 left here. Not a whole lot of time for Ninjago to try and break this, so they're going to have to get creative. Mr. Kausa, are they seeing shoes? No shoes. They didn't imagine an even Uber situation on last year, I suppose. So they came up gunboats. They're going to have to make it work. I imagine they just rip a sack and then just try and get onto shoes again, maybe, but they're going for like another 3-man here. Oh! 2 guys down. Sunny forces a 5-manned. 4-manned. That is kind of brutal, I can't lie. They're going to be able to just take second for free here. They are going to get their spawners on mid. Alex is a late death. If they deny, they're going to deny the demo. They're going to see that the demo's dead. They're going to maybe try and get into mid, maybe?
Oh,
nope. Michael on Pyro going back to last. Interesting. They're just going to have to set up for a force here.
They are going to have to try and set up for a force. Alex now coming back up to meet with the team to get in onto second. Question is, are Ninjago going to have to use here, or are they going to be able to take it for free? They're rotating over towards Valley, and now it's going to be the soldiers bombing to make a little bit of space. They do force MGCS back a little bit. Crazy, pretty weak, is going to have to bomb back over to Shutter to get out, and I think that should be the point taken for Ninjago not having to use, but Sunny basically already has. Ninjago would have to go immediately. Hami trying to get in position. Seems like
really
they might still want to go. Hami is in.
Crazy. Oh, wow. They're on the point. They have to come out and use it. They have to block.
So much cap time.
Uber is forced. Red team Uber forced as well. They opt to try and escape with it. Going to try and meet their respawners as blue team up 5 men to 3. Blue team on the chase here. Finman, they're trying to escape through them. Kill that demo man. Oh my goodness. Alex on the low ground getting caught out. Wow. I was worried about Finman getting caught out, but Alex as well, just trying to place some sticky traps on the shutter, gets caught out too. And now blue team going to be able to roll this into mid. Negligible Uber ad, but the Doman being dead is quite significant. Is Grape on the back door, Sunny. Oh my goodness, MGCS are just not together. And Rave just gets to peek the back door, shoots Sunny from behind, and that's devastating. Honestly, devastating for blue team. Going to be trying to take the mid with off the demo pick, get shot in the back by Rave. It's just not what you want to see. And now big Uber advantage for the Ninjago.
Yeah, going to be very big. Going to be able to almost immediately walk in as soon as they have control of the second point. Just going to have enough time to give everyone the buffs. They don't have just quite yet, so a little bit of breathing room for MGCS to get that sentry gun as built as possible, but they don't have any more time. Hami is going to come in. The pyro is right there. They have to take him down quickly, and they're not doing so at all. Everything staying alive for very, very long is now finally the sentry gun does go down. A nice bump from Mr. Kausa onto an escaping Reverie. They do have a lot of space, but they don't have any point time. Only a few picks to their name. It's going to be a scrappy DM fight because Sunny's nowhere near close to getting it, and that's going to be it. They just stand on the point.
Imagine you standing on top of Moby's head, and the cap zone for Metalworks last is like 2 inches. So imagine unable to block the cap there. It was looking really close for MGCS there. Ninjago was just so spread out, it was just a scramble. They really could have held that. It really went down to the wire there. Imagine just like a microsecond from being able to get onto the point itself and stop it, but the round goes to Ninjago as we go into our 5th mid fight off of a round reset. 5th mid fight here. And now Finman baiting in the house, baiting to the valley. Sunny super deep in the valley. Like, this is just such a big passive mid here. As Rave going for a bomb, tried to get up onto the event, sort of failed it. And now MGCS sort of has the damage here, sort of has the positioning, taking this high ground. Rave gonna bomb the top left. Gonna try and salvage onto Sunny, gets picked off by the pistol of Imagine. And Moby getting flung off the point as well. They're just getting bullied out here. Really clean mid-fight win from MGCS here as Alex goes down late demo pick. Wow.
That's going to be a very crucial pick. A very late demo means that there's no one to really block all of these choke points. MGCS going to be able to roll up for free. They don't have to worry about a little right click and suddenly their whole team has been sent to the respawn room. In fact, they're going to have enough space to try and pressure on the mid almost immediately. Maybe try and go for an early sack onto Finman. There is that heavy though, and that's going to be a little bit too hard to try and escape. They do lose 2. Immediately Mr. Kausa on the chase. I don't think he's going to be in position to get onto Sunny.
He kill-binded to try and reset faster. That's get on a faster respawn wave. That's actually insane tech. I respect it. Yeah, big mid, honestly, from MGCS. I just want to rewind a second. Like, at mid before, where they double bombed 2 soldiers into a passive red team, disastrous. They corrected it. Alex picks up JJ with a nice trap on the box there, I believe. Unfortunate. Yeah, good mid win from MGCS. I like how they adapted to the passive mid fight from Ninjago.
As Michael PC1 is up on Sniper. I don't know if they know, but they might be expecting something. Not immediately, because JJ did go down, so it makes sense that MGCS is going to play passive, at least to just wait for their demo to get back up before they start sending sacks. But Michael PC1 up on the Sniper. He's going to have to try and hit some shots, open something up for his team, or at least corral Ninjago into a position that his soldiers can maybe take advantage of. But oh my god,
dude, JJ just eats like a rocket and a pipe at the same time. Crazy goes down to Rave as well. Just to spam, I think her rocket launcher is laying in the main door there, and they are going to be trying to get Moby. Dude, stop!
Oh, the pyro,
dude. Everyone's shooting rockets at pyros today. Stop it! Come on, guys. Wake up! Wake up! Hey! Wake up! Stop shooting rockets at pyros. Wake up, man. Both teams are doing this. It's pissing me off. Stop it.
They got to play more pubs, you know what I mean? Get dealt to some 4 and 6's elements. But as Michael PC1 still up on the Sniper, trying to maybe land some type of shot, has Shutter all to himself right now. Is going to rotate over maybe to the right side. Thinking about it, yeah, the combo is going to come over to try and help him. There is Mr. Kausa in position, but does get spotted off by Reverie. And that's going to be the first pick, actually, for Michael PC1. The body shot onto Mr. Kausa. Oh, but JJ.
Huge dodge, but ends up getting picked up by Rave, as that first pick was actually so huge. Rave's so weak trying to stuff this doorway. This is good. This is good for Crazy in with a huge bomb from the side here. Gets air blasted straight up because Pyro is a really cool class, by the way. And unable to air strafe, unable to do anything. Michael's still on sniper here. I was expecting them to back up and work to pick with the sniper, but Crazy saw timing, so I respect it. Yeah, they just get Michael going back to spawn. I caught it out of the corner of my eye. I'm looking at Michael going back to spawn. They're maybe gonna get Crazy on the shoes. Pudis. They're gonna retry this Pudis play.
Pudis.
So one thing with the Pudis play from last time, I believe, they try to take the heavy through the far left doorway from their perspective and try and kill the gun in the pyro, sort of with the heavy. So we're gonna see how that works out because, you know, the heavy can just hit scam the sentry gun, right? But
yeah. We'll have to see if maybe it works. If they are taking a bit of space, the Uber
here.
Yeah, comes out
Pyro
onto
unable to shoot the
JJ
gun.
and Michael. They take down the sentry gun, also going to be able to take down everything as well. The Uber, counter Uber coming out from Ninjago. They don't have any space for MGCS, so now they're just going to have to try and play that refight with the heavy, hopefully
pushing through the right
that he
door.
doesn't get focus fired down. That's going to be a nice rocket onto Reverie, sends him to the respawn room, but Crazy, nice flank, going to get a few right there. It's only going to be the heavy, Mr. Kausa, and the medic going to have to pull out the works if they want to hold on to this one. I don't think they're going to be able to. Mr. Kausa trying to stand on the point, gets one nice rocket, but it's not going to be enough.
Come on, man. You need to try. Bait for your logs. Come on, dog.
Yeah. He did bait because of that. Well, not because of that, but
at least
that
try,
is going to be
man.
the second round.
Negative points for Finman, bro. F for effort, bro. That's terrible.
Oh, at F for Finman.
You know what, dude? True.
You know.
Anyways, yeah, great refight with the Pudis. They killed the gun. They just rotated off another doorway. Tried to focus players. It was good reef that heavy from MGCS. To go to our 6th mid fight. As I'm looking for maybe... Oh, yeah. Ninjago rolling out the top left doorway. Going to be double slaughter bombing here into Valley. Sunny hiding all the way back. Mr. Kausa unable to clean up. Oh,
Ooh,
Sunny goes down to
Sunny.
2 HP.
Oh my god.
That was almost a disaster.
That,
Sunny
I mean,
really-
Crazy
that was
is
so
in.
close. Yeah, tries to make a play happen. Tries to catch Finman on the escape, but dude, Sunny like tiptoed forward because he assumed that Mr. Kausa would be dead and barely catches a rocket that leaves him alive with 2 HP. So
Oh, Mobe might have spotted it. Yeah, Mobe's checked, so they should know that there's a spy up. Reverie has walked off, so there's a spy for
Mr. Kausa
MGCS.
is already shooting behind him. Like that guy can't even be in position yet, and Mr. Kausa is shooting the ground behind him. So it's really over before it started. You really just gotta hope here. Maybe if you're the red team. Sorry, I got a cough.
Yeah, no worries. Reverie
gonna
going to
hope
be
here-
going in through map room.
You're gonna hope here that maybe if you're the blue team and they know that like they're just gonna be looking behind Crazy in, they're looking for the spy, they get a big force. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. They're just preoccupied looking for the spy behind, and Crazy just gets to bomb through. They do pick up Michael as well in that. I'm unsure how that ended up happening, but they pop through. They're gonna try and chase these people through the house. There's just no space, I don't believe. They do pick up Alex, gotta turn around. You have lots of people behind you, lots of red players behind. It's gonna be a reverse situation that we saw from MGCS. This is like an absolute just mirror image of what we saw a couple rounds ago. Yeah, just chase into second. Players behind on mid. Get a pretty big Alex pick, but just unfortunate.
Reverie out on spy, trying to make it work again. They shouldn't be expecting this one. Might have an opportunity to go for something. Could decloak, take down Finman right here. Is going to be so crucial with the timing.
Right in front of the demo.
Oh, that is
goodness.
so unfortunate
Decloaked
for
right
Reverie.
in front of Alex.
You hate to
Oh my
see
goodness.
it. But that is going to mean it's still going to be very big Uber advantage for Ninjago. And
Alex
there's only
recognizing that timing
40
was
seconds
unfortunate.
left in the time before we go into continuous overtime. So if they plan this correctly, they might be able to close out the series right here as they use their Uber in to try and take down the sentry gun. They do that. Pyro's still staying alive. They have a lot of cap time onto the point. Crazy bombing it to deny them. That really great stuff there. They take down Mobe, Mr. Kausa, and Alex gonna get 2. So it is gonna be even players for the moment. JJ gonna be going down. And it seems like throughout all of that, MGCS have been able to hold only 10 seconds away, so it's going to be a 3-something game. Question is, are MGCS going to be able to get off of their last, or are Ninjago going to be able to close it out in this round.
They have 50 ad. They just got to look out for a backcapper, and they just got to take this Uber and just try and lock him out. There's stickies on that door. Reverie spots them pretty far back. They should hopefully try and take this for free if you're the blue team. Seeing how far back the red team is, just not wanting to get caught by it. And they're just slow peeking here. They might even opt, the way things are going, they might even just opt for even Ubers and round in round reset. Reverie getting caught. They launch it. JJ in a bit of a battle. Oh my god, they lose 4. I turned my camera away from the action to look at JJ in a battle with Rave, and I watched them lose 3 other players. How did that happen?
They tried to go for the backcap play, and I think they just all committed a little bit too poorly. And then Finman was disconnected from everyone, had to use on no one. And then Mobe was fortunately not dead and was able to run Finman out to safety. But that does mean it's going to be even Ubers. Ninjago on their second really great play, or just a really great execution from MGCS. And now a potential to try and close things out. Still going to be even Uber, so they got a lot of work ahead of them, but they've been able to get off at their last. They can push forward with that same type of play. They might be able to send us to a map 3.
Yeah, Homie did just check for off classes just now, saw nothing, came out and started to build Uber again. So they know there's going to be no funny business. No funny Reverie spy for like the 3rd life in a row or something like that, so... Gonna be a standard gameplay. Crazy's gonna be looking to not get caught out in the house here like she was last time, and they're just gonna look to as 3 red
as you
players
say that
3 red players in the house. Crazy backs up. Ooh, they trade Rave for Reverie, and so the soldier for soldier pick might open up a little bit for MGCS here. The house push looking a little bit more unlikely. Crazy is going to be the soldier in the valley here as they have the scout watching the house, and now Crazy is going to be looking to do some sort of bomb here. Mr. Kausa and Moby trying to make something happen in the house here. Crazy flying into second, tries to get onto Alex, gets cleaned up by Hami, and JJ just jumping back to mid to try and get away, try and not get caught in the valley here as Mobe and Mr. Kausa really aggressive in the house. Mr. Kausa doing a fade bomb in the valley, thinks better of wasting his life for that sack attempt with all those blue players there.
Yeah, they are just trying to pressure here.
They are still down a soldier here, so Rave getting aggressive. Mr. Kausa bombing Reverie. Goes, gets that pick. As MGCS sort of chases the rest of Ninjago out of the valley here. Hami falling to that.
Yeah. Oh, JJ is going to go down. The combined soldier spam is going to send him to the respawn room as now a soldier might get caught. Crazy just barely staying alive, but Michael PC1 dies to buy time for their soldier to get that arrow, and now they're going to be down 2 very important players, and Mr. Kausa is going to get the force out coming in from behind. Really great stuff there. Has barely been able to live throughout that Sunny did use. And that means it's going to be very big Uber advantage for Ninjago.
Crazy's in a wall bug spot above choke here. This is desperation mode. Desperation mode for MGCS. Hoping Crazy can make something happen here with this tier 4 shenanigans. Don't say tier 6, guys. Wall bugs aren't that hard. This is a big opportunity. Goes to the flank kill onto Mobe, and now Crazy's behind, going to cause a lot
the heavy
of chaos.
in the forward
and the Pugus on the forward spawn. This is huge. Actually sort of huge for blue team. This is an insane distraction as Reverie picks up Mr. Kausa in the flank as well. And now they have 2 soldiers behind. Reverie sees them in alley. Crazy shooting them from the back door. It's a pause or not. It's just a server lag. It's GG lag. Sorry for... Someone wins. Someone wins here.
This is so close.
I'm so afraid. Oh my goodness.
Sunny is trying to stay alive. Hami was thinking about it, going down that drop down to just land on Sunny, but... Yeah, thought better of it. God. Rave still going to be over in Valley, as it seems like MGCS, they're just going to get all their ducks in a row, make sure they've got all their people up before they go forward with this massive Uber advantage. They don't want to get back up. They don't want to make an easily avoidable mistake right here. This is a great opportunity to try and take it coast to coast if they can go and execute it perfectly. Imagine dying is not how you want to start that, and immediately you can see Mr. Kausa trying to go for a back cap. The Uber still comes in from MGCS.
This is disastrous for blue team. You have to make it back. You have to make it back. You have to stop these players here, or else it's literally round losing. And they're getting stuck. Both players shooting this choke point. Oh my goodness, Mr. Kausa and Rave just completely decimating the blue combo. Trying to escape is crazy. Or Reverie, sorry, trying to make something happen. Wow, Michael trying to make something happen. That's disastrous for MGCS.
This could be
Ninjago taking it back into last year. Second is Cap. Hami goes straight to point. There's just no time for the blue team to stop it. Ninjago, masters of Spinjitzu, making their way to the grand finals. Wow.
They've made their way to grands, like you said, where they were face off against Mar-a-Lago, and just very, very, very back and forth, extremely close. Metalworks in particular. You gotta wonder if maybe seemed like Reverie didn't have as many connection issues. If that was the case in product, maybe it would have been at least a closer scoreline, if not a win for MGCS. But unfortunately, those are the troubles about playing online. But even with that, you can't knock Ninjago whatsoever. They played a really great game. They were, like you said, moving as a unit, playing together, and able just to kind of consistently come out on top. And because of that, they were able to win this lower bracket finals. And unfortunately for MGCS, that is going to be the end of their advanced Season 16 dreams. But, third, it's not a bad place to be.
Not bad. And I mean, the Taco Cat team placed them as like one of the worst teams in the division earlier in the power rankings. So, to claw back and to finish third is, really stick it to the Taco Cat guys. But yeah, man, I think Ninjago really exploited how just disconnected MGCS were. Just really, truly, honestly, just so disconnected a lot of the time. And what set them up for success on that last play that ended up winning them the round was that Imagine was just off on his own on the Valley side. Rave sitting above the back door to shoot down him 2-rocket. Boom. Mr. Kausa, Rave both behind. Moby shoves into Valley, gets underpass. They have 3 players capping second. MGCS tries to take an Uber into mid. You can't. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's you have 3 people behind you. It's just unwinnable. And if that happens before the timer expires, before overtime, don't let it happen next time. It happens. Round loss, shitty way to lose a round, but so consequential in the overtime to make that play happen, find that kill, and to just trust. That's a real big thing. I'm just gonna keep yapping. Ninjago, they, as I was talking about them moving as a unit, you can really tell they trust each other. And they trust in the plays that they want to make. And they get that kill, and those 3 players instantly just shove behind, man. It's great gameplay. They deserve. So, I'm gonna look at the logs here.
Yeah, one thing that immediately kind of stood out to me again was Finman. Only 3 deaths, staying alive a lot. Sunny 7. So very unfortunate there. But Rave is a large reason why that medic discrepancy is as it is. Getting 5 med picks.
Wow.
So definitely kind of going in, finding his man.
Yeah, those double soldier bombs on mid, 2 in a row, that's just 2 medic deaths. That's 2 out of 7 were on those mid fights. It's really sad when you see that happen, right? And as well, how many did Reverie have? Or sorry, Mr. Kausa. Mr. Kausa picked up the last one, but you could tell the 2 of them were in the air, landing on that medic a lot on the mid fights. And they had just excellent collapses, in the choke point again, sort of mirroring what MGCS just did to them on the other side of it, right? Yeah, it's huge game from Rave, also topping the charts in DPM, 280 compared to the next best is both demos with 242, right? So yeah, insane game from Ninjago, insane game from Rave.
It's like you said,
just unfortunate.
Soldiers
man.
can pop off.
Yeah,
it is very unfortunate for MGCS that their season 16 ends here, and it's a little bit. I don't know if it's ironic, but it's funny because these teams, like we said, this is the 4th time they have faced off against each other in this season. Every time up until this point, MGCS have won every single map. Not by a lot. It's been close, but they have won every single map. And it's kind of, if you are going to lose a map against your rivals, you don't want it to be in the most important time, which, unfortunate for MGCS, is the case. But, opposite for Ninjago, got to be feeling good for them because, if you are going to win against your rivals, you want it to be in the most important time, which is this lower bracket final. Guarantees them a slot in grand finals and a bare minimum 2nd placement for the season overall. So Ninjago, their story is still a buzz, but for MGCS, this has been it. And like you said, a very good season, proving some people wrong. I don't know who put them down there. I guess the Taco Cat guys. Is that like the MVM? That's like the MVM guys. You know what I mean? Like the Taco Cat TF now? Is that like the MVM list of like, if you get banned in MVM, they put you on the Taco Cat short list, I think?
The Taco Cat short list? I don't...
No, I think it's called Taco Cat TF. There's like a group of MVM players that like if you don't buy the exact build that they want, they will
I literally couldn't
blacklist
tell
you.
I'm not in on that. I'm sorry, man. I don't get
No
it. I didn't know
worries.
MVM got this serious.
There's people who are out there and they make it their life. And, I'm not judging, but I think that is going to be it for us here at Fireside. Grape Juice, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout out to the winners because they deserved it.
Fair enough. All right. My shout outs, I will mirror your shout out. Shout out to Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu. Hami and Mobe, my favorite medic main as well. Shout outs as well to MGCS for putting on a really great performance, especially in Metalworks. You also have to hand it to them, being able to come back from losing on their map pick, and also kind of that mental strain of having their player repeatedly DC can be very, very taxing. So to come back and give it as good as they got, even if it wasn't enough to take the win, still very, very respectable. And when you look at their season overall, you got to hand it to them. Shoutouts to all y'all watching. Shoutouts to Dr. Underscore for getting everything prepped up and ready. Shoutouts to you, Grape Juice. Shoutouts to Grape Juice, everyone in the chat. Show this man some love.
Thank you. Okay, but shoutouts to Tcmano. This guy's like the greatest caster of all time.
No,
come on, man. You're shouting me out. You're like the GOAT right now. No. So I don't know, man.
That is factually incorrect.
I gotta reflect it back to you. You can't be showering me like this, man. It's you're making me feel warm inside. I gotta put it right back onto you.
Listen, if you haven't seen this guy host an amazing show, it's called RGL Guest for Div. It's very, very
everyone knows
enjoyable.
about it. Okay, stop talking about me. Okay? It's not about me, man.
All right. Sorry. Oh, anyways, other shoutouts. We do have Fireside merch, as always. Buy it, wear it. It's super, super sick. Otherwise, that's going to be it for us here at Fireside. We will be back with Advanced Grand Finals. And speaking of casters, we've got an amazing caster lineup. I think it's going to be in Jimond and Alfredo Dand. I didn't leak it, but if you've ever seen one of their casts before, it is always a lot of fun, and Advanced Grand Finals should provide. So check out and stay tuned for that. Otherwise, that's been it for us here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.